Holy shit. Also, nice 69 votes. All right, chat, if you're here for Rivals, I appreciate you. I've been playing a little bit less Rivals, just to try not to burn out, because the games have been a little interesting. This is the start of the season, although today wasn't bad. Me and Jay actually had some good games. That said, though, I thought it'd be a cool idea to maybe take a personality test today. I technically got two. I'm going to start with this one. I haven't taken it, obviously. I just hit this button to get to the next screen and then went back. This one, though, it seems a little more generic, which we'll take. And then I have a second one, actually, which is this one. This one actually makes you agree. You have to agree to a statement beforehand. Let me hit refresh and see what pops up. Hold on. Damn, it remembers the cookies. Hang on, what if I can... can I make it pop back up again? Hang on. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can get it to come back up again. Oh, now I lost it. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. It won't pop up. Basically, this one, though, I actually had to hit I agree to a statement that popped up. Oh, incognito browser? Wait, hang on. Actually, good call. Incognito window? Aha! Look at this. I'll do this one after. I'll show you again. But this test deals with the negative side of psychology. If you decide to fill it out, you may get a negative description of your personality that can possibly upset you and use at your own risk. Furthermore, please know that this test provides information on personality styles for educational purposes only. The information is provided as is. It should not be construed to constitute professional services or warranties of any kind. For more, please consult the terms of service. Which I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's like a little warning. Like it hurts your feelings. Let's do the more generic, easier one first, though. Okay, Dillian's, by the way, I think in 13 months. Appreciate you. I'm gonna unmute alerts. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys back your TTS privileges. If you abuse your TTS privileges, I will take them away again today. All right, let's take the test. I will do my best to be as honest as with you guys and myself as possible. If there are gaps in my own self-view, well, that's going to be tough.
But thank you for the content.
Wait, what the heck?
Last month. You've helped distract me from some stress. Thank you.
Wait, that's so kind. Yo, W Death Angel. Appreciate you. Much love, dude. Glad you enjoyed being here. Okay, let's lock in, shall we? Are you regularly make new friends? I think I have to say no. Not because I don't want to, but because one, I don't really go out as often. So I don't really have those like friend groups that I like went to college with and high school with as much. Plus I moved across the country. And then I've actually been trying this year. You know what? No, I'm actually going to say middle. I'm going to say neutral. Because actually this year I have tried to make an effort to reach out to new people. I don't know if I would say any of them are like true friends. I would say if anything, they're like colleagues that are like, oh, hey, like I know you. Yeah, you're cool. And like play a game or two together. But I've been trying to be a lot more outgoing than I have been in the past. Although typically I would say slightly no. So yeah. Okay. You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. I completely agree with that. I like to get other points of view, even if they're kind of fucking nuts, because I want to be able to, if I do believe that they're nuts, understand what their argument's going to be before they even say anything. I think that there's a lot of times in our world where people believe things very strongly and they don't have a reason why they believe it, what they do. I think people also can be kind of manipulated into believing things just off of emotion. And so I think the more you're informed on that kind of stuff, the better prepared you will be. But also, I think I like going into niche parts of the internet too. So you are not easily swayed by emotional arguments. Chow, what would you say? I'm going to ask you, what would you guys say? Agree or disagree from me? You are not easily swayed by emotional arguments. I think I'm a little bit too much of a straight shooter to get swayed by emotional arguments. I think I will get emotional in an argument. I think that's different than being swayed by an emotional argument. Like where you're like, come, like if somebody's like, come on, man, have a heart, or like, I believe this because I had this experience. Like I'm just like, I don't care. Like, is it actually doable? Like, is it actually rooted in fact, or is it rooted in emotion? I think I would say I'm not easily swayed by emotional arguments, but I will get emotional in arguments. But I won't say it's all the time, so I'm not going to go hard agree. You struggle with deadlines. This is a hard one because the answer is yes. I really do struggle with deadlines, but I don't miss them. Like I am a procrastinator to the last fucking second, and it drives Shay insane. But at least maybe she can attest to it, or I don't know, Retro or somebody, that when push comes to shove, I will get it fucking done, but I will wait as long as physically possible. So I'm gonna say slight agree, because yes, I do struggle with it, but I will always get there. You rarely feel insecure. You rarely feel insecure. I think everyone feels insecure sometimes. I think I used to be more afraid of showing my insecurities like online. And the way I used to basically approach it was like I lived in a suit of armor, and you could not break me. And then I realized that, like, if anything, that kind of made me more unrelatable to most people, even though a lot of people thought it was commendable. A lot of people like looked up to that kind of a person, because a lot of people used to always say that to me, like, dude, you are unbothered, like nobody can crack you. And then I was like, yeah, I don't think it was healthy. I don't think it was healthy, and I think it made people like view you as like a machine, like you're just a content machine. So I actually started to show insecurities a little bit more, not because I don't think they're like, insecurity is not like always good, but I think everyone has them. Like I have it with content sometimes. Like I don't always know what I'm doing. With games, like I don't always know what I'm doing. Sometimes I learn about new stuff as I go. But obviously that's a little bit harder on the internet. So I'm going to say you rarely feel insecure. I'm going to say disagree slightly. You avoid making phone calls. Yes. Yes and no. Well, actually, I don't know if I want to say that much of an agree. Like, I will call. Like, I would rather call than email if I need to get something done. But I don't want to make the call at all. Is that unfair? Shay, do you think it's hard to agree? Because I actually I think Shay makes more phone calls than when I need to. But if I need to make it, I will make it. But I don't want to. So I'm gonna say agree. I'm just not gonna be like I avoid it like the plague. Yeah, I prefer a call over text because I just get shit done. Phone calls are for boomers. I think you get a connection with people through a phone call more than a text. I'll give you a good example. So when me and Shay moved here to Nashville, we had this cleaning company come, and low-key, like I'm not gonna say the name, but they scammed us. They legitimately scammed us. And they were dealing with Shay, and it was a lot of text back and forth, and they basically did not clean the house and tried to charge us more than double of what was the original quote, and basically said, oh, the house is bigger than we thought. And I eventually, like, going back and forth with texting them, like, I was like, we need to talk this out because you're not getting paid. Like, I'm not paying that. You're literally scamming. And then when we finally got on the phone, they were like trying to hit us with like, oh, the house is bigger than you described, all this stuff. And I was like, first off, no, it wasn't. Second off, you actually didn't do 3 rooms because they're being under construction. So you're actually talking that it was bigger than we thought, but we gave you the square footage and then actually minus about 500 of that, if not more, because 3 of the rooms you actually did not touch. So that's bullshit. And so through the phone call, we were able to come to a much closer resolution, because I think you have that human to human connection of like, they're like, oh, we're trying to make a good effort. And I'm like, okay, if you're making a good effort, try fucking harder. Where it's like, I'm not trying to scam you either. Like, I did this in good faith. You're telling me it's good in good faith, but you got to try a little harder. And I think through text, people are a lot more stern on their emotions, but over the phone, like over voice or in face to face, people are much more willing to come to a resolution. So I think phone calls are good. Do you enjoy debating ethical dilemmas? Yes and no. Egotistical side of me to come out. I think a lot of people's ethics are really bad, and I don't want to debate them. I genuinely just think people have shit ethics, and I think ethics are not always like something that people understand either. But I don't want to debate. I don't care about you. I don't want to debate you. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like genuinely, like if I think you have shit ethics, I just want you to stay away from me. I don't even want to talk about it. Maybe I'll just do this just because I want to hear what you have to say, and then if I find out something, then you prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. So I would have used to say years ago it would be hard disagree. I don't think that's totally true anymore. I think sometimes I do get a little bit too soft now. And I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, so I'll avoid the conversation as much, or I'll avoid like being as direct. If it is someone I know, if it's the internet and someone's just being a dumbass, I don't care, right? I'm probably gonna go about here. Your living and working space are cleaned and organized. Shay, what do you think? I wouldn't say organized, but I wouldn't say it's dirty. I wouldn't say it's dirty, and I wouldn't say it's dirty. I'm typically a pretty clean person. Disorganized, but clean. We've seen the desk. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on this desk, right? There's a lot of stuff, but it's not dirty, right? Like there's a lot of things on this desk, but it's not dirty. I think those are two different things. I'm going to say slight disagree. No, I'm going to say middle, because I think it's clean, but it's very disorganized. You often feel overwhelmed. No, I don't. I don't feel overwhelmed. I think the last time I genuinely got overwhelmed was during the move, and I still got shit done. Like, I don't feel like shut down overwhelmed. It takes a lot to feel shut down overwhelmed. Like, you have to like really emotionally overwhelm me to get to that point. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. Yes, I play Overwatch and Rivals. Absolutely. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. Yes. To a point. I won't just do random bullshit, but I do like trying new stuff. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining the course of action. You just banned TTS and you're not overwhelmed? Okay, I hate to break it to you, but the banning TTS thing was literally a bit. I'll be real with you. I could have left TTS like that for the rest of the day, but chat was annoyed. Like most of chat was like, please stop, like turn this off. And I think it's funny at the same time. Like that was a bit. Like I could have tuned that out so easily, That's not actually me being overwhelmed. Me overwhelmed, I will tell you if I'm overwhelmed. You will notice. You'll know it's a big difference because I've only ever been overwhelmed on stream like 3 times. I get very quiet. It's different. Yeah. You often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. Poor Shay if Shay wasn't sick, I could hear her scream right now upstairs. Agree. Yeah, I don't have a schedule. You know what happens every morning? We wake up. Shay asks me, "What's their plan today?" I go, "I don't know." She goes, "You don't know?" I go, "Stream." She goes, "Okay, what are you gonna stream?" I go, "I don't know." By the time I come from downstairs to up here and sit down, that's when I figure it out. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. I'm gonna slightly agree with this because I do actually want to make a good first impression. I don't want to be the person that comes off as like just an asshole and doesn't care about a first impression. I think first impressions really do matter. That said, though, I'm not someone who goes out of my way. Like, I'm not gonna like dress up really nice unless it's an occasion that requires it, right? Like if we're going out to dinner, like I've done this with like, you know, like I met some of like Shay's friends before. Like went out to dinner. I like we're going like unless we're going to a nice place, we go to just an average place. I'm gonna dress how I normally do. I'm not gonna like dress up for other people, right? I will try to be courteous. I'll try to be kind, but I'm not going to like, oh, I need to impress these people. I genuinely just don't care that much about that. You feel comfortable just waking up to someone you find interesting and striking up. Wait, what? You feel comfortable walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope. Nope. It's a goddamn miracle. I am not a single man. You thought I was going to the bar and talking to people or going to a cafe? Hell no. I am the absolute opposite. Actually, don't speak to me. You know what? The worst thing about having the two cars that I do, the truck is an old dude magnet. The car is like a young dude magnet. And I mean, actually, it's actually both. The car is mostly both, but the amount of times, like back home, especially when I took the truck out, you'd have like these like 50 grizzled year old men that'd be next to me at the gas station. They're looking at me, go, that's a mighty fine truck, son. And I'm like, oh, thanks, dude. And I'm like, what is it? And I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk. I'm trying to get gas and I'm trying to fucking leave, man. I'm trying to piece the fuck out, right? Yeah, I'm good. You are too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. Oh, sorry, you're not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. To an extent, I agree. I'll talk about movies and stuff. Like, you know, if me and Shay had a conversation about a movie or like why we thought something was good or someone was an asshole, we'll talk about that. But I'm not going to get like too involved. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. I agree with that, actually. I actually no, to a point. Sorry, hang on. Let me scale that back. I think that it's always important to talk about someone's emotions and how they were impacted by something, because I think the impact of something, like in Rivals, a good example is like BP, right? BP, like playing against Black Panther, invokes this emotion of like you can't even play the game if the guy is there. But if you watch the other point of view, like he does nothing 70% of the game. And so like the data and the number says the BP isn't too bad, and actually if anything is not a good pick, but he's not fun to play against. And so like that's something that you really do need to take into account. However, though, you can't just go into delusional la la land, right? No delusional la la land. Like your feelings don't matter more than like everything else. Like there has to be like some lines in it, you know? I think if the creative work would be gameplay, that is something you would VOD review and you wouldn't mind talking with someone else about it, right? No. It's not something I'm not. And content, I think it's different. I'll give you a good example. When I was at BlizzCon a couple years ago, some guy like stopped me because he wanted to talk about balance in Overwatch, and I had an Uber already called. And so I didn't want to be rude, and I was like, yeah, I got an Uber that's here, but like, yeah, sure, like I can answer a question or two really quick. And so I answered his question or two. We go back and forth for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, okay, like, you know, I gotta go. Appreciate meeting you. And he just like would not let it go. He's like, no, I need to pick your brain more. Like this one thing is not like cool for the game. And I was like, dude, I gotta go. Like I'm trying to be nice to you, but like I don't care about this topic right now. I'm leaving. And I think to others maybe it was something they really wanted to like talk about, but like at the end of the day, I'll say my piece and then I'll move on, right? Like if you want to sit there and argue with all day, it's like, okay, I'll be like argue with the wall. Next. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. Sometimes, yeah. If I come across like a niche that looks interesting, I might go into it more. You're prone to worrying that things will take turn for the worse. Chat, type 1 if this is you. You're prone to worrying about things that'll take a turn for the worse. Are you someone that prepares for the worst all the time? Type 2 if you're not. I feel like if you grew up like in a stable house with like two parents that like were decently well off, like you didn't have to worry about like food and bills and all this stuff, like you're constantly in what's called like survival mode. And I am too. I think I've gotten better the last few years. But yeah, I still do this a lot and I'm not proud of it. It's really hard to break out of that. It really, really is. And so if you are someone like that, I'm the same way, and I feel for you a lot. But the thing you have to try to remember is that if you're constantly worrying about things being worse, you will kind of almost manifest it in a way where like you want to hope for the best, but also not like delusional hope for the best, you know, like you're not gonna like $1 billion is not gonna fall from the sky and come and like save you. So like if you're the type of person that's like, oh, I'm not gonna invest in my future, I'm not gonna invest in retirement, any of this stuff, even if you have the like, let's say you have the money, right? Like say you have the disposable income to like put in your 401k or whatever, or your Roth IRA or whatever it is, and you're in a position to be able to do that, and you're choosing not to because you're like, I'll just marry wealthy someday, or like I'll get inheritance or whatever. That's delusional. No delusions. The opposite end, though, is like not enjoying anything in life because you're like, oh my God, this thing could go wrong, right? Like you never spend $1, you never go on a vacation, you never go out. You're constantly worried about going out because like, oh, what if something happens at home? Or like a different type of like OCD where you like have to check the oven like 4 times before you leave home because you think it's on, right? Like that's really hard things to deal with. But if you can somehow work your way through them, life will get a little bit better, you know? You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones? I'm very in the middle. I enjoy my YouTube and anime time, but I don't mind going out with friends every once in a while. And I think I'd want to do at-home activities like gaming, stuff like that with a group more than I would do it by myself. So like that's why I'm kind of in the middle. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living? Yeah, I hate writing. Well, hang on. I think that's a different type of question, though. I think this means you can't imagine yourself doing it. Could I imagine myself doing it? Yes. Would I enjoy it, though? No. So I'm going to say here. Okay. You favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects. That's a hard one. You favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding emotional aspects. Do I do that? I think I do. I think I do. I think I'm much more logical. Shay, not to throw you under the bus, but I'm pretty sure we've gotten into arguments about me being too logical about stuff like this sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to say I'm like heartless about it, but yeah, definitely. You prefer to do chores before allowing yourself to relax? Absolutely. You know what's funny? before me and Shay started dating, so like she makes like all the food stuff at home because she's an amazing cook and I am not. But basically the way things work here is she obviously makes dinner and I clean up, right? Like I do dishes and stuff like that. When I used to do it myself, I would do the dishes before I ate. So if I made dinner, I would make dinner, then I would do the dishes, and then I would sit down to eat. Now the way it works, as unless it's completely done, like everything's ready by the time I come downstairs, I will do it as she's going. Right? Like I won't get in the way, but like if she finishes using a pot and a pan, I'm cleaning that shit as she's doing other stuff.
Hi, Mr. Flats.
Once
you finish this, if you're interested, I recommend taking the Michael Calo version of this test as it is more in-depth and accurate.
Is that what this is?
I've spent the last 3 years studying personality frameworks and their practical use, and I endorse it.
Yo, I appreciate it. Thank you. Maybe I will. Is that what this one is? The next one? Okay, next. Just curious. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. That is okay. You know what? Maybe I haven't been answering this quite possibly the correct way, because like that was like the I'm out for blood. Like that's why I don't like arguing with people that like I like. I'm not trying to argue. I will always try to diffuse and try to like find common ground, because if I'm there to argue, I'm there to fucking win, and I don't like doing it. I don't like arguing. I don't want to. But if you drag me into it, motherfucker, I'm gonna win, you know? You usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. So this used to be me. I'd say about a year ago, this was 100% me. I've done my best to do better now. Like we went to one of Shay's friends' house recently, like a couple weeks ago. They were having a birthday party, so they invited like 20 people over. I think I introduced myself first every time that wasn't the host introducing us. So the host introduced us to like a couple people, and then the couple of people that came after that we didn't get introduced to, I introduced myself first to them. So I've tried to be better about this, but I've historically not been this person. Your mood can change very quickly. Yeah, I could say that. I think I can definitely get my day ruined pretty quickly, but I can also bounce back really quick. I think being able to bounce back quickly is always important, you know. But I think that I definitely can have my day ruined pretty easily. You usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factual argument. No, disagree heavily. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Yep. We already talked about all that. You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. I don't know why they end up putting these two questions next to each other, but absolutely not and absolutely yes. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. Disagree. I have no problem being with others. Like I will hang out with others. Like I actively enjoy hanging out with others, but they have to be people I like. Now maybe I should go here because I do like them. No, but I like I have such a short social battery. Shay has said this before. Like she's like, you're very outgoing with people. Like when we go out or like meeting her friends and stuff like that, I'll be talkative and try to like carry the conversation and, you know, like be an outgoing person. But after that, it's gone. Like just don't talk to me for like an hour. Like I'm just going in the corner after, you know what I mean? You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. Completely disagree. I think this is one of the things me and Shay connected the best on, where we just talked about like the most insane hypotheticals. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. No. You find it challenging to maintain consistent work or study schedule. A little bit. No, actually, you know what? That's a hard one because I'm actually very consistent with streaming. I'm here almost every day. I come about at the same time. You know what? I'm going to say no. But I do have a hard time scheduling. So maybe here. I don't like a schedule, but I have an internal schedule that I've made where like I'm here but at like 2 p.m. EST at the latest every day, right? I'm always here. I stream every day, somewhere between like 4 to 7 hours, give or take, and I'm always here. And then if I don't have a day where I'm here, I'm like, okay, if I'm not here, I'll be sure I'm on time tomorrow, right? So I think I'm pretty good about that. You rarely second guess the choices you made. Oh. Wait, hang on. Did I ever tell you guys about what happened when I bought my old house, my first home, back home in Mass? I had the biggest buyer's regret. I had such bad buyer's regret. Like I genuinely, I wouldn't say I almost broke down. Like it takes a lot to actually break me down. But like I remember just like having a moment of exhaustion when I bought that house because like literally the first day I was in it, the fire alarm started going off randomly and we couldn't figure it out. And we thought it was the alarm system. And the alarm system company refused to do anything about it because we weren't the owners in their eyes. So I had to have an electrician come out and literally rip the goddamn wires out the wall and turn it off. And then we found out it was the fire alarms, right? And I had to fix so many things. I don't think I've ever told you guys. I'll tell you now. Screw it. I think I spent $60,000 fixing that house. Like $60,000 was how much it was to fix all the bullshit. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Which is why, like, when I moved into that old house, that's why, like, I started streaming like crazy again for a little bit. I will say I was very lucky that when I sold it, I got it back. I got it back, which was very good. But it was really, really depressing. I was really upset for a while, and I was second guessing everything. I was like, this is a horrible decision. What did I do? But in the long run, I realized I did make the right choice, and it was something that was good for me, and it was something that I wanted, and it was a goal I always had. So even though you second guess yourself, I think as long as you still have the confidence to keep moving forward, I think that's always good. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. Maybe lively, but not outgoing. You are drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. Yeah. You have like a to-do list for each day. No. You usually stay calm even under lots of pressure. I think I do this really well, actually. I do stay pretty calm under a lot of pressure. If you ever see me play in tournaments where everybody's screaming and a lot of things are going on and chatters are like, oh my God, talk more or do this. I typically can like hold my composure a lot, pretty well compared to a lot of people. So I'd say I'm good at that. What isn't streaming creative expression? Yes and no. I don't view it as the same way as like making art or making like writing stories. You know, it definitely is. But I wouldn't say I'm drawn to it in the same way. I don't know. Maybe here then. Okay. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. Absolutely. I always hated that idea. Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. I absolutely agree. You can easily connect with people you just met. Depends on who they are. I think I'm pretty good at it though. I have a background of being, social jock guy who like talks about sports. We could talk about almost any sports balls. Hockey, baseball, basketball, football. I could talk about almost anything. I think with people that are a little more introverted and a little more nerdy, I can kind of figure out how to talk with them as well. I think I'm pretty good at adapting. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty decent at it. I'd actually say I'm actually pretty decent on it. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Absolutely not. I don't care if my plans get derailed for the day. I'll figure it out. You're still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. No, not really. No, not really. You're too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future. Or you're not too interested in discussing theories. I'd say I disagree with that. I don't mind. Your emotions control you more than you control them. That's a hard one. Because I feel like I do not hide my emotions as much, unless I'm choosing to. If I'm choosing to, that's where I'll be very neutral all the time. Like if I've locked into you're not seeing anything, I will lock into that and you're genuinely not seeing shit. That said though, I have times where I get upset about something and I will make an impulsive decision, but I wouldn't say that happens that often. Yeah, maybe I'm not neutral. I think I'm actually probably a little bit leaning disagree. Having emotions isn't the same as letting them control you. That's a good point, actually. Okay, I'm gonna go here. When making decisions, you focus on how the affected people might feel, than on what is the most logical or efficient. Yes and no. Like, I don't want to make people feel like shit. That's a hard one. I will still choose what is the most efficient option, but I won't I don't know. I won't just like ruin someone over it. Like I will try to find a better way, but I think I slightly agree. All right, hang on. Almost last page. Also, I'll link, by the way, when we make the YouTube version, I will link this. I will link these in the description. I will give them to Retro. For Retro, if you're or whoever's editing this in the future, I will have them in my channel in Discord.
The Michael Kilo version
and let
is
chat take the
website. Here is the link. I also advise taking an Enneagram test as well. Best done off stream as it can be critical, doesn't pull punches, and can be overly revealing.
Wait, hang on. That's what this is, right? this one said this. What I was gonna say though is, yeah, we'll try to link the stuff in the description. So if you are interested and you want to take this test yourself, we will give you a way to. Okay. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. 110%. Not even close. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it'll take for them to feel disappointed in you. No. Oh, that's such a sad question. Chat, if this is you, if this is you, I have something I want to say to you, and I think it's important. If that you feel this way,
BTS is back. Good to know.
I'm muting you. Sorry. If this is you, and I want to say that if you feel like you are very honest with yourself, right? Like say you're like, well, yeah, that I'm just I'm being just honest with myself. That's how it is. I want to say you're not. I want to say you're not being honest with yourself, because you're only looking at the negatives of yourself instead of the positives of yourself. So when you're someone who feels you're very self-reflective and you feel like you're somebody who tries to always view yourself from another person's point of view, and that's where you're like, oh, they're going to be disappointed in me eventually because I'm going to fuck up. Well, that might be true. You might fuck up, but so does everyone. Everyone fucks up. But when you're being quote unquote honest with yourself, you're only looking at the negatives and you're not looking at the positives. So you're actually not truly being honest with yourself. You're just reinforcing your insecurities. So when you're self-reflective and you're the type of person who is honest with themselves, you have to be able to both look at the good and the bad of yourself, not just the bad. I'm going to say I'm not like that. I try not to be like that at all. You would love a job that requires you to work most of the time alone. Do you guys count? Also, thanks, Crub, by the way, but I didn't want to have any more C-spam for the day. I don't think you guys count. I'm going to say no. Just slightly. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. Completely disagree. I don't mind. It's a thought experiment just for fun. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmosphere than to quiet, intimate places. Couldn't disagree worse. If a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof. Yes. I will try to gather as much evidence as I can, but there's something very real in life called choice paralysis. Choice paralysis happens a lot of times when there's too many options in front of you. Games actually try to do that with like stores. It's why like a lot of games, when they have a storefront, they create FOMO by taking it away and giving it back. But also they don't want to have everything there at the same time, because it will, like, you're like, I don't know what to buy. I just won't buy anything. But something else also happens where if you want to be like so informed on something, you want to like have all the facts and learn everything before you make a decision. A lot of times that keeps you from actually making a decision and acting at a proper time. And so sometimes you have to just take an educated guess. Like you have to have your instinct, gather as much info as you can in a reasonable time, and just go for it. Because if you let every opportunity in life slip by you without acting on at least some of them, you will never get ahead. I think I'm actually going to go here. No, just because needing further proof. I think doing research is good, but you need to also be able to make decisions. Next. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. No. Sometimes, but I shake it off actually very quickly. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. Oh no, I will skip to the end. The only time I don't skip steps is if I'm cooking something, because I don't know what I'm doing. I will try to read everything in order. And if it's something I've never done before. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps. Yes, absolutely. I'd be able to, like, I think I don't know who said it. Is it like a Bill Gates phrase or something where it's like one of the best things you can do is put the laziest person in charge of like coming up with a solution to a complex task, because that guy's going to find the most simple, direct solution to the problem because he doesn't want to do the work. And that's kind of true. Like, if you have like something new and you need to figure out what's the best way to solve it, give it to a lazy person. They'll figure it out. You are more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice. No, definitely not. That's why you don't like cooking. Okay, I don't like cooking because, yes, that. 2, it's typically hot, and I don't want to deal with the heat. 3, this is going to sound horrible. But to me, sometimes it's all going in the same place. So, like, if I'm eating a sandwich, do I want to take time to take both pieces of bread, put them both on the counter? You know, put some sauce on each one, put cheese on each one, put the meats on each one, put sauce in the middle, and put it all together? Or do I want to take the meat and the cheese out of the fridge with a sauce, put it on the meat, like the sauce on the meat, put the cheese on top of it, roll it up 1, roll it up 2, roll it up 3. It's much more efficient. like you're still eating the sandwich, kinda, just quicker and not putting the whole thing together. And the flavor's still there. The only thing that's not there is the bread. The bread's not there. That's it. I'm just saying. That's what I used to do. I don't do it anymore as much. Actually, I still do it sometimes, but very rarely. I don't know. Some people I think could probably relate, but not many. You like organizing tools like scheduling and lists. You feel confident that things will work out for you. I do feel pretty confident that things will work out for me. The reason why I feel like things will work out for me is because I have lived through a lot of hard times. And life doesn't always go your way. But I think that with enough like self-determination, you can find your path. I think if you get afraid, I think if you get beaten down, it's much harder depending on what your circumstances are. But I think we all have this one life. And what is the worst thing that can happen other than trying? And I think as long as I will try, something will happen. And it might not be exactly what I wanted, but I'll at least feel accomplished that I tried something that I wanted to try. And I will make progress to achieving that goal. And I might find a new goal somewhere in the middle. But in the end, it will work out. All right. I'm not going to choose a gender. I'm just going to say see results. INTP-A. Is it Logian or Logiston? Or Logian? The important thing is not to stop questioning curiosity as its own reason for existence. Albert Einstein. As an INTP, Logician? Okay, Logician. You possess a unique blend of intellectual curiosity, analytical prowess, and a penchant for abstract thinking. Your mind is a playground of ideas, constantly exploring complex concepts and seeking to understand the underlying principles of the world around you. You approach life with a rational, logical mindset, preferring to rely on facts and reason rather than emotions or conventional wisdom. Your insatiable thirst for knowledge drives you to dig deep into subjects that capture your interest. You're not confident with surface-level understanding. Instead, you strive to grasp the intricacies, systems, and theories, often developing solutions to complex problems. This intellectual depth, combined with your ability to think outside the box, sets you apart in both personal and professional spheres. So 65% introverted, 68% intuitive, 70% thinking, 76% prospecting. What's that? You're likely to be very adaptable, easygoing, and flexible, prioritizing spontaneity over stability. Assertive. You are likely self-assured, even-tempered, and resistant to stress, refusing to worry too much. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. Focus on objective and rationality. Okay. Career path. In professional life, you thrive in environments that challenge your intellect, allow you to explore complex problems. Fields such as scientific research, software development, data analysis, or philosophical inquiry often appeal to your logical, systematic approach. You excel at spotting inconsistencies, developing theoretical models, and finding innovative solutions and others might overlook. Wait, it's just predicting metas in video games over and over. However, your career path may not be always straightforward. Your diverse interests and dislike for routine can lead you to explore various fields before setting on a direction. You may also struggle with more mundane aspects of work life, such as adhering to schedules or dealing with office politics. Oh my God, this is actually so accurate, though. Finding a role that offers both intellectual stimulation and enough flexibility to accommodate your working style is crucial for your job long term. Wait, I thought there was a way to see like what types of people you were like. Hang on. INTPA? Where is it? Is it this one? No. Right at the top? Unlock full results? Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, wait. Down on the left? Personal growth. Relationships. I don't want to unlock. Oh, the menu is on. Menu is on. This one? I thought there was a way to see like who you it's in the header, second purple. Wait, is this the same one? INTP, INTPA. Wait, what's the difference between INTP and INTPA? Was it the bottom of the page? Chat, are you guys fucking with me? I feel like you guys are fucking with me. Scroll down to the bottom. On the other page. Okay, I just wanted to make sure this is the same one. Yeah, this one. I saw the people down here, but I didn't know if it was the same one as INTPA. Is it the same one? Oh, they are the same? Okay. So Bill Gates, Kristen Stewart, Albert Einstein, Avicii, Stanley Crouch, Isaac Newton, Rene Descartes, Elliot Page, Blaise Pascal.
Congrats, you have the same MBTI, Killua, HXH, Frankenstein, Soul Eater, Togue, JJK, L, Death Note, Aizawa.
Wait, wasn't...
and Shikamaru, Naruto.
Oh, the 5. Wait, wasn't L the... Uh-oh. Lord Varys, Neo the Matrix, and Marshall Finkman. Isaac Newton was awesome. He took this test. Okay. All right. That was pretty good. Hang on. Let me look at really quick the one that guy linked. Because I had a different one.